Around 2 a.m. Monday, the State Patrol says a trooper stopped Ricky Cobb on I-94 for not having taillights. After learning Cobb was wanted in Ramsey County for a felony order of protection violation, 3 troopers then approached his Ford Fusion together.
How you doing, my man?
The State Patrol says the troopers had a request to do what's known as a pick up and hold on Cobb, but they didn't tell him what it was for.
Hold on, is it a warrant?
No, it's not a warrant. I need you to step out there.
Hold on.
I'll explain it all out when you get out of the car.
Hold on.
Less than 1 minute later.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car now! Although body camera videos didn't clearly capture the sound of gunshots, the dash cam video did. The State Patrol says the shots came from the trooper on the passenger side. Like all police shootings in Minnesota, the BCA is investigating the shooting. The BCA and State Patrol fall under the same Department of Public Safety umbrella, but the DPS commissioner promised transparency.
The Minnesota State Patrol and the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are separate law enforcement agencies. They act independently, they do independent work.
Ultimately, after the investigation, the charging decision will fall on Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty.
Hey, what's good with it? Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for tuning in. I'm hoping that you get something out of this video. So let's jump into it. We're going to talk about Ricky Cobb II. As you've seen in the video, you've seen what happened. He tried to drive away. You know, we'll put that out there first and foremost. He tried to drive away. I don't agree with it. I don't agree that he should have tried to drive away or whatever. I'm gonna talk about something here, and one of the viewers brought it up in a comment talking about comply. It's easy, just comply. I agree to a certain extent. You should comply with, you know, whatever orders the officer is giving you. You know, we know how they are, and a lot of them, if you do not comply, they will push the situation into something it doesn't need to be. And that could bring you harm. The viewer also said something about bringing a court action. And I 100% agree with that. Yes. The problem is most people don't do that. And it's because they don't know how to do that kind of stuff, or they don't have enough money to pay an attorney to do that kind of stuff. So although I agree with it, you know, when does it become, you know, where we just comply with every single order that the police give? And if that's the case, then it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Might as well throw that Fourth Amendment out the window of being free of unreasonable searches. You know, might as well just let them knock on the door and come in anytime and, you know, just to comply and bend over backwards for them. No, I don't agree with that. Now, Ricky Cobb, he drove away, shouldn't have did that. However, I still don't agree that these officers are justified in killing him. The one thing that I think so many people get wrong, and it's so many people hit me up and leave comments and other videos, Instagram, wherever, and it seems everybody seems to be under this notion that as long as you're breaking the law, the police have a right to gun you down. That's what I take all these people saying. I just had a person right now leave a comment in Facebook for me saying that pretty much I'm a disgrace to anybody who represents minorities, because it's people like me that obviously make minorities look bad. No. I don't represent nobody. Okay, for one, I represent what's right and I represent what's wrong. You know what I mean? And in effect, I represent and I stand with what is right. And the way I represent the bad is I put it out there. Okay. I get it. People of all colors do crime, you know. But at the end of the day, does not give police a right to shoot somebody just because they're suspected of a crime. Okay. So I want to get that straight. You know, I don't know where these people come off with these crazy notions that as long as you're, you know, being sought out for a crime, or you're being suspected, then you have to just comply 100% with the cops. You know, to a certain extent, yes, you do. However, just because you don't, and let's say, you know, we use Ricky Cobb as an example. Ricky Cobb tried to drive away. Okay, that could be that's pretty much a you know, he's evading arrest, so that's a felony charge, or it could be a misdemeanor as well. But in this instance, I believe it probably would have been a felony. But it doesn't give them the right to kill him. So this is where we're gonna break something down. This was done by state troopers out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. They made up an excuse. They pulled him over, said that his taillight was out. That wasn't true. Okay, that was not true. That was false. That was them making up a lie so that they had a reason to pull him over. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Brianna Strauss video I did. You know, she said that if the cops stayed behind you long enough, they could find a reason to pull you over. Well, we see that plain as day right here in this case. So they made up a lie. It has been shown to be a lie. They pulled him over because he was sought from another county on questioning. Not a warrant, but questioning. Yes, questioning. Once they had him, pulled him over, they wanted him to step out of the car. He didn't want to comply with that. It's like, no, I'm not stepping out of the car. You know, in so many words, and he attempts to drive away. Now, I want to point something out here. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the state of Minnesota, the law is this when it comes to police officers and the use of deadly force. Whether an objectively reasonable officer believed the person posed a threat of death or great bodily harm to the officer or to another. Now, once again, Ricky Cobb was fleeing the scene. He's fleeing away from you. For one, they should have let him drive off, jump back in their cruiser, radioed it in, and tracked him down, which they would have. Police always get their man. So they would have found him. They knew who he was. They knew where to find the guy. But instead, the officer wants to jump into the passenger side, and eventually another officer fires, even though it could have put his officer in danger, fires, kills this guy. And there was another passenger in the car as well. So that's pretty much what happened. Guy ends up dead, 33-year-old man, dead. So it's shown that they made up a lie to pull this guy over just because they were basically doing a favor for another county to question this guy. And he ends up dead. That's the problem that I have with this. If you had something legit, hey, this guy is wanted for murder, or this guy is under reasonable suspicion to have committed murder. Okay, now you might want to take a little bit more caution. Still doesn't give you the right to kill somebody who's trying to flee from you. That's the problem. And I think that's where people conflate these things is that, oh, okay, as long as he's doing a crime, let the officer have free reign. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. I mean, what if you're suspected of jaywalking and then they pull you over, but you don't think you jaywalk, so you just keep walking? Okay, you may have committed a new crime of going, disobeying a cop and obstruction of justice or whatever. I mean, does it give the officer the right to pull out his gun on you and kill you? No, it's a petty charge. You know what I mean? And even here, they wanted to question him. That's all. They wanted to question him about something about breaking a stay away order. I mean, that's not exactly murder. So they made up the lie just to pull him over. In the end, he ends up dead. Come on. I just don't see how people can agree that something like this is okay. I mean, I really don't. I don't. And there's something else I want to point out. And I think this is also big. It's something that needs to be talked about. The people who are investigating this is the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, BCA. They're investigating this case. But it has to be noted and talked about is that this same agency is a part of the same state agency that the state troopers are from. Yeah, I highly doubt that they're going to find any type of wrongdoing. Anyhow, I have a question for all my viewers who watch this. Whether you're on my side of you know, that this wasn't justified, or you think it is, you know, my question to all viewers is, should there be some type of consequences at least, you know, for the actions of the officer lying about the taillight and jumping into the car, escalating the situation when it really didn't have to get there. You know, he could have let the guy drive off. You know, you want to question this guy, you could have went to his house, I'm sure, or you could have followed him and you know, caught him somewhere and walked up to him and said, hey, you know what, you know, sir, I'm officers, whatever. We have some questions to ask you, you know, simple as that, you know, but instead they wanted to lie about this, pull this guy over, and, you know, in the end, his life is gone, you know. The good thing about this case, if there's any bright spots, is the family has hired Bakari Sellers, who is a civil rights attorney, and he's a damn good one. This guy has litigated all kinds of cases like this. And so, you know, the bright spot is I'm hoping that Mr. Sellers will be able to get justice for the family, and, you know, have some type of repercussions for this department. And I believe also, you know, I read it and that it was noted that the same state agency troopers were somehow involved in a incident or a crash that took 5 lives, including a girl, a young girl. Anyhow, thank you for watching this video. Please leave comments, suggestions. What do you think should happen to these officers? You know, was it justified? Was it not? Let me know. God bless everyone.